What's up, fuckers? Trade recap, April 6th, 2025. We have somewhat of a non-banger, actually. It was a really good trade to take. The psychology kind of fucked me up, so we're gonna see what happened there. There's actually like two good trades to take, so we're gonna go over both of them. So here we're on. Oh, well, my face is in the way again. Oh shit! What did I do? Oh god. Oh fuck. Okay, there we go. All right. So here we're on TradingView on MNQ, and you know what? It's my new enemy. That's my new enemy. I don't like MNQ anymore, and we're gonna see why. I didn't know this actually, so I guess we're learning together. But apparently, it prints a little bit differently than Nasdaq minis do, which are over here. And the only real difference that I thought and was kind of advertised to me was that the contract sizes are different. So for micros, it's going to be a tenth the size of a mini, right? So if you wanted to enter a trade for micros, you would enter 10 contracts for it to be one mini. And that kind of made it easier for you to take profits when you were doing smaller trades, or if you just have smaller size to trade with and leverage with, then it'd be easier to trade micros, which is what I've been trading for a long time. But today it fucked me, so we're gonna see how that happened. Let's just show you like a little pre-market analysis that I would do. So on the 1 hour, we have kind of the most important thing that I spotted here was this high coinciding with this 1 hour fair value gap, as well as this one that was respected before, but that one was yet to be touched. Not to mention this low got swept. Did that actually happen? No. Okay, this is the issue with TradingView that I was talking about. With backtesting, I think I mentioned this in the last video. If you want to backtest and you go to a time frame like I'm at right now, 9:30, and you go to the 1 hour candle, it's not going to show you the 9 o'clock candle half print. It's going to show you fully print. So this is the price action up until 10 o'clock, even though while we're backtesting, if I go to the 1 minute, we're actually at 9:29, right? That's why I don't like backtesting on TradingView. It kind of gives away things, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to mark this level out. And for 9:30, we have yet to hit this level. So when market was opening up, we didn't hit this level yet. This was not working this out. This was actually a pretty decent target to take. Not to mention there's a 1 hour fair value up over here, which I don't have marked out. And that's because we're already in it. So if I'm in the 1 minute, I don't want to be seeing like all this. But I could keep in mind, yes, we're in a 1 hour fair value gap. And honestly, I think it's even a 4 hour, which is a much higher. Yeah, it's a huge 4 hour. Right. So keep that in the back of your mind while it's trading. Not as important as other confluences, but important to know that we're tapping into this bullish fair value gap. Back to the 1 minute. Actually, no, I still have a 5 minute once I mark these DOLs out. Am I missing something? Why did it go back to 11:25? Am I not on replay mode? Okay, we're gonna go on replay mode again because this is broken. All right, now that we have those highs marked out and those potential draws, you go into the 5 minute and you kind of just sit here and wait. It's like watching paint dry. Here we have a move up. Gives you some sort of a confluence that we're going a little bullish. We're having a bit of an order flow flip, if you will. Break structure here, but I'm still not looking for longs yet. And that's probably because we have this 15-minute right here, right? That's what I'm watching. I don't want to take longs if this is in the way. So back to the 5 minute. It's like I'm reliving this whole day again. Crazy. Where did everything go? Oh, I went to ES by accident. Okay, back to the 5 minute. See price print up one more. Again, pretty good confidence that we're going up, but I want you to take note, this low resistance liquidity right here, coinciding with this 15-minute, already tells you that there's going to be some sort of pullback here. So what you're kind of planning to see is either, where is the path tool? Either for us to dig into this, have a pullback into a 5 minute and then continue higher, or you could have, I don't even know, I guess I could draw over it again. Pull into this, and that causes a complete reversal where you could target these lows that we draw out before. Now, obviously, it's not going to look that clean. There's going to be some sort of umph to it. But we're going to see right now what actually happened, which was neither of those scenarios. So, but in most cases, that's what you'll see. But we had a crazy, just absolute fall off and an inverse that was made here. This was the trade that was a really good entry on minis, and I kind of wish I took this, but we have For all intensive purposes, a BPR, bearish BPR, but here we have a bullish fair value gap that gets inversed by this 5 minute here. Very clearly the draws are down here now. If you go in the 1 minute, what? I'm flabbergasted. This is insane. This candle did not print this morning, and I want to go back and see that because we did not have this. This would have been the entry right here. This is the perfect entry. So take this short position. Why we're taking this short? It's because we have this pullback after that 5 minute, but the 5 minute closes underneath the fair value gap. So now we have a 5 minute inverse. Nothing protecting these lows over here, right? Not to mention big Diddy candle, or Drake candle, whatever you want to call it. Big Drake John, right towards the downway, right towards sell side liquidity. That kind of tells you more than you need to know, right? We're going to sell off, and we're going to sell off big here. Now, what you want to target is the draw that we marked out earlier, and then you'd have break even right about here. And let's see if this plays. At this point, you go break even, so you close this. I saw so many people take this trade, and I was a little bit jealous. But yeah, you just fucking bang, and that would be TP right there. Let's play one more. I don't think we actually come back down again. Yeah, there you go. Just for extra confirmation for anyone, because that was actually 1 tick short. That is a banger right there. That was a 205 tick trade. Huge, right? Straight into profit. No drawdown at all. Just flew straight to your TP. That's the one that I missed. And because on the micros, I don't know why it's showing now. Because when I was watching this printout, I want to go back here. This was not here. This was not, there was no green candle here. I'm being bamboozled now because this is crazy. I didn't see this at all. Actually, I think I took a photo of this. I'm gonna have to pull this up because it kind of blew my mind. I don't know if I can even find one. I'm gonna have to. Bear with me, guys. This is important for me because I almost crashed out when I saw this. While you wait, feel free to type in the comments how your day's been so far. It's a good time for my computer to load. Well, it's way up. What time is this again? You could find a good time frame. 10 o'clock. Okay. It's kind of helpful. Guys, I might just cut this out because it's taking way too long, but I really want to find this photo. It's actually making me itch because now the charts are printing normally. Something happened in micros that didn't make any sense. Okay, yeah. All right. Here we go. Open in browser. Okay, great. Do you see this? This is a screenshot of exactly what I saw. Does that make any sense to you? This was on the 1 minute time frame. It just hid the bullish candle. There was no blue candle. It's like they squished it. That doesn't look right at all. It's like it skipped a time. It skipped a minute. I didn't see that candle print at all. So for me, I thought we were just selling off, even though this looks rather strange the way these candles printed. I thought we were just selling off. And I was like, there's no entry, there's no retrace. This was our retrace, right? This was a great retrace, especially followed by that Drake candle engulfing the whole thing, right? Like long, thick candles that are printed all the way through is really good confluence as to where the market wants to go, what direction it wants to go. Let me mark this as break even. I have a little green line for that. Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so that's kind of crazy, honestly. Where did the photo go? Yeah, that's insane. That's a first for me, honestly. Like, and now when I go back to the charts to hit replay, it fixes itself. I think I just got scammed by TradingView. That was a crazy trade I could have taken. Anyway, besides the point. Right, so that happens. We sweep these lows over here. We also make, I think, 2 separate SMTs, if I'm not wrong. We go on the 1 hour here. On ES, yeah, we do not take this low. And again, I'm going to discuss this more, this kind of confluence in future videos. So for anyone that's new and doesn't understand what SMT is, I recommend looking that up because I'm not going to really touch up on that here. This is literally just strictly a trade recap on what I did today on the markets. But if you guys are curious and want to figure out sooner, yeah, you can look up what an SMT is, kind of gauge what I'm talking about here to get a somewhat of a decent understanding of what I'm talking about. And then I make my own video. Of course, you guys are going to watch it because it's a must, and you'll really get a real understanding of it because everyone else's videos are kind of mid compared to mine. But anyway, yeah. So we make an SMT here. We can mark that out real quick. Little SMT ski. Boom, bang. Okay. And not to mention, we also make a 1 minute SMT, funny enough. So we created this low over here, and then on ES, we did not. So we failed to break this low, another SMT ski. Now, because I'm sitting on the charts here, I'm just going to mark it out here as well, which is, it's kind of getting a little confusing and tight. Basically, you get the idea is now we are rather bullish, and we're going to run all these resting stops and resting liquidity here. So, one good trade I saw people taking, which is a little bit questionable for my model, was this other massive Drake wand printing. You know what? You could have taken along here, and I've seen it play. That's an inverse right there. The only issue is you have a fat 5 minute gap right along here, right? So you're playing into this gap when we are. Whoa, what is that? What is that? That's when I used to trade the unicorn model. It's actually kind of funny. I haven't seen it in a while. You're trading into this red gap right here, this bearish fair value gap on the 5 minute. When you already have bearish flow here, right? So this is not a long I would prefer to take. Where's my path tool, right? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You kind of break structure here, but then you end up making a lower low again, right? So to take longs this early is not based, it's not my model, and I'll be trading against my plan. So when I saw that printout, I was like, you know what? It's not a bad trade, but it's not something I'm going to take. Wait for extra confirmation. And we get that, right? So we're printing in this 5 minute. Honestly, really good movement through. This could have been a decent long too, now that I'm looking at it. This Drake candle printed, take up these highs, not bad. You almost could have got a break even here though, but yeah, not a bad trade. You would put stops like over here. Definitely not terrible. But you know what? I kind of waited a little bit longer because I didn't like these highs, right? These resting highs, it looked like something that was going to stop me out or where we're going to see another reversal. I really thought this today was just going to be a range day. So the fact that we kind of ripped above these highs was already impressive enough. But anyway, yeah. So we get a bit of a retracement. Now on the 5 minute, what does that look like? This little guy, right? And then right after it, we get the biggest 5 minute Drake candle I've ever seen. So we go back to the 1. Now, as I'm looking at this trade, the 5 minute has it printed through, but the way these candles are printing gives me enough confidence to say, yeah, we're going to take these highs. So this big Drake John prints, and I instantly place the long order. Boop. And I target right over here, right? And my stops were actually on the bottom of this body, which I wasn't a fan of. Was not a fan of that. So it should have been lower. No, never mind. No, that's not one. Okay, yeah. The body's fine. Body's fine. 1.3, that's fine. But here's where I went wrong, right? So this is not a bad trade whatsoever. I think this is a good entry. But for me, break even was going to be right at these dual highs. As you can see, we have not one, but 2 highs lined up perfectly together. So I'm thinking we're gonna have some great rejection off of it. Not to mention, wow, we have so many lines here. We're gonna remove like some of these. This looks insane. Not to mention, when we zoom out, we remember what we were initially worried about and what we were initially targeting since the morning was this high trading into this 1 hour gap, right? So that was my ultimate TP that I was reaching for. So we go back to the 5 minute, back to the 1 minute. That, oh, actually it was up here. Crazy. And we also had a 15 minute here, right? Or a 5 minute. Yeah, so we had a 15 minute here. So those 1 hour highs were initially what I was trading up to, but we still have these 15 minute highs here, or sorry, 15 minute bearish for value gaps. And we are now at 1020. You know what? Now that I'm looking at this, now that I'm really looking at this could have easily been an absolute ripper to the top, which it did do that. Look at that. Wow. All right, so two things to think about. I'm kind of just getting this from here. Like I wasn't even thinking about this before because I thought it was already a decent trade, a decent take profit. But this is 108 ticks. We could have targeted way up here, gotten 242, and that was a very reasonable target, other than the fact that we have this 15-minute gap here. But with all this volatility, it being 10:15, a lot of drive to these highs over here, I don't think that would have been a bad trade whatsoever. And we could have had break even over here even as being more reasonable. But back to the issue that I had today, because that's only one issue, right? I have break even set here, and I had the take profit set here, right? So if we go back down or even go to replay and just take a look at this, right? This candle prints, hold on, this candle prints, I enter, right? I'm going to try to paint this out to you as perfectly as possible. It's hard to do when you're just skipping through candles. But this candle prints, I enter. So let's just do a little, wait, please tell me we're replay. Yeah, I buy one con here. I enter again. Oh, sorry, I skip to the next candle. We have in one singular minute a candle that basically wicks me out, or not wicks me out, but just barely tickles my TP. So it would have taken me out that high. Not only that, but it touches my break-even level right here and then prints underneath it. That is terrible. That is terrible confluence. Like from a perspective of somebody just watching the market, that tells you we had such a knee-jerk reaction to these highs that it's almost yelling like we're gonna go down. We just swept liquidity. We're gonna eat shit now, right? Of course, there's other things to this, like when you place a trade, there's a reason that you place. You have to trust your confluences. But this was a crazy reaction. So right when I saw this print, I instantly closed to break even, right? Like one would. And now we print to the next candle, which, I mean, come on. Do you see this? Like, it didn't wake me out, but look how close it got. Another pip away. Crazy trade. Look, one tick to both sides, right? I could have been break even or full take profit within 30 seconds of each other. So here is where I'm like, holy shit, we swept this high, which was initially my break even for a reason, right? Because there's a lot of stops set here. Not only that, but we basically touched this other high that was supposed to be my take profit for another reason, the same reason that I had my break even out. And I basically just instantly chickened out the second this candle printed. So I think my exit, because I did it off a market order, it was like somewhere over here, right? So I exited right as the next candle was kind of printing up, and I just left. And you're gonna see here that was a fucking terrible idea, but like, could you blame me though? I mean, it's wrong, right? Like, and that's kind of where the psychology comes into it. Like, do you see these candles printing? It looks insane, right? And you're already so deep in profit here. I was up at this level, it was probably $3,000 right before I had my TP because I exited over here and it was 1.5. So I'm in this for 20 macros. So this was a huge trade for me. I kind of full ported this because I want to pass my accounts. And I exited early because of how this was looking, right? I didn't want to go break even. I want to pass this account. This week is the last week I have before they bill me again. So for me, it's either I pass or I fail this next week. So you're going to see, I'm going to make a video either saying I made 5K in a day or I lost it all, right? And we're going to see how that plays out. Honestly, fingers crossed, high hopes. But I don't want to repay this account again. So it's either I'm just going to, start all over again or pass the 3 MFFs and get some payouts from there. But anyway, yeah, so I kind of just closed my position. Also, this isn't $17 because this is 1 micro, and I was trading 20 micros on 3 separate accounts. So this is like whatever this is times 60. Anyway, I closed this, whatever. That's exactly where I exited, and just watch where price goes. Like, oh my fucking god. This is the part of trading that like really sucks to watch. Like, first off, I took my profits like 40 ticks. Not to mention that it's like basically extremely negative RR. That was such just a cop out. It was a pussy ass trade. Could have targeted some crazy highs, This is just, lessons to learn. But when you have money on the line and there's, a bit more risk to it and you're not paper trading, you get in your own head, man. And that's the biggest part about trading is that psychology. What everyone talks about, if you're a trader, what everyone knows about is it's tough. Nowadays it's tough in here, the trenches. the trading trenches. So yeah, things to learn. Honestly, this is kind of a violation of the 30-day trade challenge. Um, it's again, it's debatable because to watch this price action and still be confident in your trade is kind of crazy. Also, I want to mention something else. This is another great entry. These highs over here. The only thing that's a little bit debatable is that we swept this high already, so you could be like top banging this. But this is not a bad entry whatsoever either. So another big Drake candle prints after this pullback, right where I pussied out. And yeah, you just reach for those longs. That could have been also a great trade right there. So 3 pretty reasonable trades, or honestly at 4. There was a lot here of reasonable trades today. And I end up taking the one that scares the fucking shit out of me the most, and I end up leaving. So did we take profit? Yes, $1,500. Is that bad? Not exactly, but did we do it in a wrong way? Kind of. There could have been more profits. There could have been better things done. There could have been better executions in my trades. Yeah. The biggest thing you want to learn from trading is not your losers, it's your winners. You learn the most about yourself when you win, right? Did you execute the right way? Did you follow your trading plan? Did you double down? Did you overtrade? Because you could overtrade, you could over leverage and win off of that. And you're gonna keep telling yourself, yeah, that was great. I'm gonna keep doing that. And then eventually it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. Because when you overtrade, um, you start losing sights or sight of accurate confluences and start taking trades off of just direct bullshit, which is where the gambling aspect of trading comes in. So like I mentioned in my previous videos, we don't trade on uncertainty, you trade on absolute certainty. The same way I took this trade, being absolutely certain that these highs and this 15-minute fair value gap was going to get tapped, as well as these, I mean, these highs were an absolute certainty because that was my target. But the same way I took this trade, on being almost absolutely certain these highs are going to get taken, is the same way that everyone else should be taking their trades with almost absolute certainty that there's going to be a draw on this liquidity, and you're taking this trade off of a retrace and targeting that draw. And that's just bottom line, basically my model. A little bit more to it, but as you see when I paint out these trades and I show you guys, that is basically the whole model, and it plays out a lot, right? I mean, the market itself just plays off of liquidity. So if you could get in on that and ride that wave and get this money, it really isn't that hard. It's not hard to do. It's literally just yourself in your own head, your psychology. That this could have been a $4,000 trade right here. My head fucked me over and made me lose, 2,500 right there. Maybe not lose, but lose out on 2,500. So, some things to think about for you guys. More videos coming soon. Stay tuned. But yeah, thanks for coming.